At her husband's funeral, she flicked a throwing knife without hesitation. The man who had been provoking her moments ago clutched his face and howled in pain after her husband's death. His uncle was desperate to seize control of the family business, determined to protect her late husband's legacy. She stood her ground against him. Then a familiar figure appeared at the funeral. She was stunned. It was her husband, who was supposed to be dead. Someone in the crowd whispered that this man was his long-lost twin brother, who had left the country years ago and never returned. She had never known her husband had a sibling, just as everyone assumed the brother had returned to fight for control. He publicly declared his full support for her to lead the family business. Back home after the funeral, she confronted him, demanding to know who he really was. She couldn't believe anyone could look exactly like her husband. The man stepped closer, teasing her, telling her to take a good look at his face. As her fingers traced his features, memories of her husband flooded her mind. A gentle, refined man. Nothing like this reckless, flirtatious stranger. Realizing he wasn't her husband, she turned and left. That night, he appeared at her door with roses. The moment she opened it, he pulled her close by the waist. He accused her of lying about her pregnancy, but she threw down an ultrasound scan and shot back. "Why are you so sure? I'm not carrying your brother's child." Silenced, he stood frozen, his expression darkening. She walked away, but back in her room, doubts about his identity gnawed at her. At the KTV, her uncle was embezzling again. The venue had been one of her late husband's assets, yet its financial reports showed consistent losses. She was there to make an example. The fired manager, humiliated, lashed out, but the twin shielded her, taking the blow. Back home, she fetched the first aid kit. He insisted she tend to his wound herself. Unable to refuse after all, he'd saved her. She complied, as she studied his identical build. The same broad shoulders. A strange flutter stirred in her chest. "Why did you save me?" she asked. He pulled her close, murmuring, "Because I fell for you at first sight. My brother's gone. Why not?